Okay, welcome to this quick short video. We want to talk about mineral resources within the earth. So we had talked about the Sierra Nevada mountains and how they formed from one plate subducting below another, and how it resulted in hot material rising through the earth, causing volcanoes and those big giant mountains. So that convergence along with the volcanic activity is what gave us that mountain building event. And now we want to see some of the cool things that result from such an event. So add these three vocab words to your interactive notebook. So subduction is what we saw before, and we're going to see an image of it. It's where one plate slides beneath another. And we're going to be talking about hydrothermal fluids, which are hot liquids, mostly water, but they have dissolved minerals and elements within them. And these are within the Earth's crust, and they're going to be primarily responsible for giving us some really neat mineral deposits, which is our last vocab word. And this is a viable material that forms within the Earth, sometimes due to hydrothermal fluid. So when this hydrothermal fluid cools, it leaves these mineral deposits. And this is how you get, some things like sulfur, garnet, opal, gold, silver, copper, the really important things that we use as a society. So let's look at the picture. So here's our subducting plate. So let's look at it here. So we have this lithospheric plate, and it's subducting beneath another. So we have this oceanic crust, which is denser and thicker, and it subducts beneath this lighter, thicker continental crust. And so as it does, it gets saturated with water, and as it goes down, it heats up because the interior of the Earth is very hot. And when it heats up and it melts, it becomes less dense and starts to rise through the more dense material. And so as it comes up, this is where our hydrothermal fluids are forming, all in this area. And as they make their way up, and the area up here is at a much lower temperature than the area down in here, they start to cool down. And when they cool down, certain minerals and elements get to a point where we're going to call it freeze, which is just to mean that they become solid. So it's not hot enough for them to stay in liquid form, so now they become solids and become mineral deposits. And so some of them is where gold is found. And so we have that image of where the Sierra Nevada mountains are. And so as this hot hydrothermal fluid, along with magma, gets brought up here and cools down to a point where these minerals cannot stay within what we call solution, so can't stay in that liquid form, they settle out as mineral deposits. And this is where gold comes from. So we wonder why, because the area in the Sierra Nevadas is where we had the gold rush. We wonder why is that? And the reason is because these hot hydrothermal fluids emplaced gold as they rose through the earth and they cooled. So, hop to another slide. What we're going to do here, I'm going to put in a text box for us, and we're going to answer a question. So within the interactive notebook, we're going to figure out how do hydrothermal fluids become responsible for valuable mineral deposits. And not only are we going to answer that, we're going to answer why was the Californian gold rush primarily located in the, if I could spell, Sierra Nevada mountains. So use everything we just said, and make sure you use the vocab words within these questions. Answer this on a new, fresh page in your interactive notebook. And if you need an example of it, come see the notebook that's in the room. That's your lesson. Have a good weekend. We will do another one next week.